To this now, the African Transformation Movement has filed papers in the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria to review and set aside the acting public protector Advocate Kholeka Gcaleka's report on the Phala Phala matter. In June, the Chapter 9 institution cleared President Cyril Ramaphosa of any wrongdoing in the alleged robbery of foreign currency at his Limpopo game farm. ATM initially filed a complaint with the Office of the Public Protector accusing the president of breaching the Executive Ethics Code by exposing himself to any risk of a conflict between his constitutional duties, obligations and private interests. The political party is asking the Gauteng High Court to declare parts of the report dated the 30th of June this year inconsistent with the Constitution of South Africa and subsequently be declared invalid. The party also wants the court to review and set aside parts of the report which cleared Ramaphosa of any wrongdoing. Joining us now is ATM spokesperson Zama Njona. Thank you so much for your time this evening. You argue in your papers as the ATM that the outcome of the investigation by the public protector was a foregone conclusion. What do you base this on?
Thank you so much. Good evening to you and the viewers. Well, as the African Transformation Movement, there are a series of events prior to this particular finding that point towards that direction. You remember, as the complainants on the matter, we expected that if there was going to be an extension to what was required and what was agreed upon between the Public Protector Office and the President of this country, we would be informed by it. Instead, we saw behind our backs the President with the Acting Public Protector going and giving each other extensions twice, and we were not involved in the matter. When the preliminary report was finally released after a collection of opposition parties and civil society organizations had to march to the Public Protector's office, contrary to Section 3, Subsection 2 of the Executive Members Ethics Act and the Public Protectors Act, which requires that within 30 days there must be a preliminary report, it is leaked. When it is leaked, we can't speak on the matter. We have our hands tied behind our back whilst the narrative is being propelled out there of an exonerated president. These are but some of the landmarks along the way which pointed towards the fact that the favors that are being given the president, it would eventually get to this, where a man who said it himself that he is a businessman, he is an individual who goes to find clients. He does not only go to find clients and tells the manager, he knows who is on his roll. He says when he was closing the Limpopo conference, some of you seated here are my clients, which is he has detailed knowledge of who his supposed business, which is supposedly not involved in, who those people are. So, and not only that, he even negotiates the price of the buffaloes, and you say that that individual is not an individual who has broken Section 96, Subsection 2 of the Executive Members Ethics Act? No way.
So I suppose you're not then satisfied with the reasons by the Public Protector at some point when she was saying that this is such an intricate investigation and she needs to make sure that all boxes are ticked here and that everything is above board before she publishes the report?
The conclusions, it is not only the African Transformation Movement that submitted evidence, tons and mountains of evidence, but you also have the expert report that took 5 million rand of the taxpayers' money with individuals who are truly head and shoulders above the rest in matters of law, who produced a report that said there was prima facie evidence to this matter on a number of cases. And even if you were to take the affidavits of everybody else and leave the affidavit of Mr. Ramaphosa alone, even by his own affidavit, he has something to answer.
So, Zama, some would argue, and they have, I'm sure you've seen it in the public domain, as when yourselves, you were making, of course, pronouncements following her report, and they will argue in this particular case to say that it's still politicking. How do you respond? How is it politicking when you say the law says, Section 96, Subsection 2, members of the cabinet, the president included, shall not have other paid work? That's the law.
the evidence. The president says, I am a farmer, I sell animals, the proceeds from my farm were from a game sale, volunteers a confession. How is it politics? Section 34, subsection 1. Any matter of criminality that exceeds 100,000 must be reported to a DPCI office. He writes in his own accord, I did not report this matter to the SAPS. I instructed my head of Presidential Protection Unit to investigate a private matter. How is it politicking? Section 34, subsection 4E, the onus of reporting is in the member of a closed corporation. That's the law. Now, how is it that he expected that the general must actually do the reporting on his behalf? How is it politicking? So for us, it is fact-based. It is clear interpretation of the constitution of this country. And we believe that the president has unduly benefited by him entering this space through that unlawful suspension of the public protector, so as to make way for the deputy public protector to deliver this flawed, irrational, and unlawful finding that she has found to protect the President of the Republic of this country.
All right, Zama, thank you so much for that. I suppose a lot of it hinging on Section 96 of the Constitution. And let's see, what becomes then the reply in some of those papers as they continue being filed. We'll continue to bring you more of this particular story as it continues to unfold. That was Zamantshona, ATM spokesperson.